First, let me congratulate the DEA on your operation there against the merchant of death, as he was known in Africa, this Victor Boot, the international arms trafficker. That was a superlative work. The operative in charge of that operation made an observation. A former colleague of yours, he said, "What in God's name do we do when a terrorist organization has the ability to collaborate with a Mexican drug cartel?" Now we're getting to that point where we're beginning to see exactly that happen. We had Jamil Nasser arrested in Tijuana, Mexican national with family ties to Lebanon attempting to set up a Hezbollah network in Mexico. You referenced another case. The sophistication of the explosives used by Mexican cartels have been picked up. Some of that's been learned from sources from the Middle East. The tunnels. I've been in some of those tunnels. You saw in the paper, I think yesterday, another massive tunnel operation linking Tijuana to San Diego. And as you go down there, I mean, these are the types of state-of-the-art tunneling operation that you also, see in on the Lebanon border, that Hezbollah has an influence with because of their tunneling capabilities. The ability to exchange expertise between drug traffickers and those who are involved in that kind of opportunity, it really sets up an interesting dynamic. And I wanted to ask you, how concerned are you about the possibility of this terrorist cartel nexus?
Well, sir, I'm very concerned. I have 3 children, and like all of us, we're looking out for the best interest of the United States. Mexican drug cartels are extremely violent. There's been over 40,000 folks killed in Mexico since 2006. I remain very concerned. We've seen the growing nexus between these Middle Eastern terrorist organizations and different criminal organizations around the world. As you know, we have linked 19 out of 49 We've linked 19 out of 49 designated foreign terrorist organizations to be connected with drug trafficking. So we share your concern, we remain vigilant, working jointly with the Mexicans. We have not seen any connection to tunnels in Mexico coming into the United States, but obviously we remain focused on that and we share your concern.
I appreciate that. Another case I was going to ask you about is this North Korean case with the drug trafficking, 150 kilos of pure heroin not too long ago, produced in North Korea. This is one of their exports. They do pretty good with counterfeit $100 bills, with missile exports, and with heroin and with meth. I mean, this is one of their sources of hard currency. So we did break up the operation there, I guess, on the way to Australia's shores for distribution by organized triads, I guess, that operate in that part of the world. But are you targeting North Korean drug activity now? I was going to ask you if the State Department has been asking you to make this a priority or not.
Sir, I have not heard any conversation with the State Department on North Korea drug situation. We have agents around the world. We've had information in the past about drug trafficking in North Korea, but we'd have to get back to you on more details.
Here's what I'm interested in. When the illicit activities initiative was at its height, and we were really trying to move on the counterfeiting over there and the other sources of hard currency that go in that assist the regime, because they're able to continue their weapons program because of the hard currency they get overseas. They don't really have any domestic capability of paying for the gyroscopes that they buy on the black market and so forth. They need hard currency to do this. So a special coordinator was tasking agencies like the DEA, ATF, FBI, Secret Service, who tackle the counterfeiting part of this. All of those were supposed to work in tandem to squeeze North Korea on this illicit activity front. And I just wonder if that's sort of fallen off the radar a little bit, and I bring it up because there are very real benefits to getting a handle on their ability, to use this kind of criminal enterprise for the hard currency. You got to shut off the spigot, and this is one way to do it. So I'll bring that up to you. Let me ask you about North and West Africa as well. You're spread pretty thin in Africa, and one of the questions I'd have is West Africa in particular is a center of operations for an awful lot of drug smuggling. It's expanding very, very rapidly. Guinea-Bissau, Senegal, these areas are now covered by the DEA from your Paris office rather than on the ground. I was going to ask if that hampers your operations out there at all, or your opinion on that.
Well, clearly we have seen increases of cocaine flowing out of South America into West Africa for distribution in Europe and the Middle East. So we're very concerned about that drug flow. Of course, we're working closely with counterparts throughout West Africa. We've had some significant success, as you may know, in Liberia and Ghana on some joint cases. We actually had the president of Liberia's son doing undercover work for the DEA in a joint operation when Colombian traffickers were trying to corrupt officials in Liberia to stash cocaine in the multi-ton quantities. So we have had success. We're going to continue to do the best that we can with the personnel that we have on the ground in Africa and in Europe. But like anything else, you can always do better if you have more resources.